So here we are the next day. Maybe you can see a little better now. We've got our posts installed with the fence here and here. And then the fence in the back is gonna have to be adjusted on because it pulled away from the house. So we'll do that, and then we gotta install our net. So we'll get going on that. We'll start at this end, and then we'll work our way back to this end here. So here's our netting. It looks like it's
horsehair.
Does look like horsehair. Here, take that. We'll keep that at this end. We'll take one to this end.
You want me to stay at this end or come to that end?
No, stay at that end. We got
a lot of room.
more than enough. So I would say just pull it this way so we can stretch it out. All right, so now we just need to kind of unfurl it, and then we can wire tie it to this. So let's knot it here at this end. Yeah.
It has wire ties in the package. Do you need them now, or are we going to set it up first? Do what?
We're going to need them. Okay. This is why I need to be on that side. Like, how far do you want to go over it?
You want
All
to
the way?
We might as well and hook it to here. And then we can just hook it to the sides or
This
wherever.
stuff gets caught on everything. Put it up straight. Let me run it. Whew. All right. We can have you. Of course. Right, we can't get to
Do you
here.
want me to get up on the ladder?
No, I'll get up there and see if I can get it to move back a little bit. It catches everything. Everything.
I mean, we can do it just right here to the end, and then you can drill it right into the coop, boom, 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 on that edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a matter of
Oh, I know. I'm just
being able
saying.
to get it to move.
Oh, there you go.
That's about all I can get it to.
That's good because it should just. I don't know how you're going to do it with the fence though.
God almighty. It catches everything. So we have some of these hooks. We're gonna put them up here so we can hook the net in.
Do you need help?
I need just to quit catching on everything.
I think this is worse than putting up cobwebs at Halloween.
Putting up what?
Cobwebs.
Oh. Cobwebs is far easier, I will say that. So
Do I need to come over there?
all right.
Raccoon proofing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do any good. I'm sweating like crazy. In your pocket.
Huh?
In your pocket. No? Up on the ceiling. Oh no. You put them up there. No, up on top. Yep.
Oh.
Here. Throw. Flip.
There, look at that. Good grief. Well, I hope everybody learns from my mistakes on how to do this better, because I don't know there is a better way. I'm trying though. Have one more?
Stay hooked. Well, it's more security.
Well, it certainly goes better once you got a couple hooks.
I see it. I don't want to bend down because I don't want to let the thing go, because then it'll hook on everything again. And I actually have it to where it's not hooked on everything at the moment. Oh, here comes the bullies. Hi, Miss Ava. Look who's behind you. You be nice to her. I'm gonna spray bottle you.
You get a pair of pliers.
Okay. You guys didn't eat all the seeds from the cantaloupe. Hi, bully. Hi, bully.
My fingertips are hurting.
You're lucky you're my favorite. Hi, Big Bird.
Why won't this shut off?
So you can see we've got the hooks up now into our fascia board so that the net can hang up a little higher so the birds can move around easily. And then we'll just continue on down to the corner here. I'll move this back a little bit so we get a little better vantage point, perhaps.
All right.
So you'll notice, maybe you won't, but I'll show you, that I'm turning these hooks facing the opening, facing towards the house, so that they don't get pulled out of the hook itself. The length of the wall is getting shorter, which means not square, but not that big a deal. Oh, on the camera. Oh, okay.
Since we have the net at least up, if they can't get out, we've opened their cages and we're gonna see if they'll come out and play.
Right now they're getting dirt baths.
Yes. Come here, Ava. Come here. No, everyone's taking a bath. Ava, come here. Nope. Silly birds. Okay, so you can see now we've got our net all the way across the fascia locked in. And we came down here. And we're just wire tying the end of it into the fence, like through here, and then we'll do along the back here. And then I think we're gonna use hooks maybe to try and get the net to hook against the shed. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get all that done now. Okay, so now the net is attached down here at this end. I gotta go back out to the front, and then we're gonna secure the net to the coop with some screws and a couple of washers. And then we'll do some screws with a couple washers down this side and secure it back against the coop there. And then we'll just finish wire tying along the back. So here's the back wire tied in. And we used a couple screws with some big washers to secure the net to the coop. And then we kind of did the same thing back over here. Wire tied all that in. And then, oh, you can't see it from here, but they're screwed in same way with washers on that side as well. I might stick a washer and a screw right up in there to kind of push the net against the wall a little more. What we're doing here is we're cutting some boards now to build our door for the coop. So I've already got one board cut, and that's here. I've got my 45s cut into it, and then we'll cut this board down to length, get rid of this garbage end, that's all kind of weird. So granted, this is all like from pallets, so it's not perfectly straight. So we're just gonna have to do our best with what it is. But I'm measuring everything out to 71 inches because that's how tall I want the door. I know it's not a standard size door, but it's for a chicken coop. So nothing's really standard, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it off at 71. We'll just draw a line with our square. We're trying to keep it as square as possible, but you know, we do our best. All right, our compound miter saw back to 0. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Get this back to 0 degrees. All right, so now we got our board set up for cut. We're gonna go ahead and get that cut. Huh?
So I got mom 2 shirts. One has a bunch
Yeah.
of tickets.
So now we've got the 45s cut into this board. Now we need to cut our header and footer for the door. And those are going to be at 36 inches. And those will get cut with 45s also. And the scraps go into the fire pit. See ya later. All right, so there are a few nails that we need to pull out of these boards, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those pulled out. So we pulled all these nails out. And like I said, this is reclaimed pallet wood. So nothing's perfect, but it'll do. So I'm gonna measure these out at 36 inches and then we'll cut those off. Get this set back to 0. Right at 0. So now we'll measure off 36 inches. I'll take this ugly end out. And that's 36. And probably just cut both these boards at the same time. Both ends kind of look the same. Take the saw through and get this cut done. Nice and easy. Yeah. Man, it's like 90 plus degrees out here today. So let's go ahead now and we can change our table over to 45. Look at that again. That's actually still not right. Close enough though, I think. So now we'll take these boards out. We're going to flip them around. Just like this. Good. Go ahead and cut our end board. Beautiful. Alright, so that's it for the cuts for the door frame. The next cut I'm going to have to do will be for a diagonal support. And we'll talk about that and down a little later in the video and the importance of setting up the correct angle for that. So now we're going to go ahead and get this cleaned off and then we'll start building our door. All right, so now we've got our tabletop kind of cleaned off. I've got one of our long boards laid out and one of our top boards laid out. So now what we're going to do is drill through here into this board, and then we'll slide it forward and we'll do the same to the back, and then we'll join the other side. So I just got to go grab a couple clamps to hold everything in place while we do that, and then we'll get going. Okay, so we've got this board clamped down. Now I want to line this one up as best as we can. And then we'll clamp this one down as well. Okay, now we've got these clamped down nice and tight. We should be able to get a pretty decent screw through on those. So we'll go ahead and run a pilot hole first, and then we'll run it in with these things. I use these things all the time. These are awesome. And these are actually made for construction work. So they're super hard. And that kind of makes it nice. And then find my little torque bit here. Perfect. Alright, so now we'll get our pilot hole bit. And so the pilot hole bit can actually be smaller than the hardware you're using to screw into to connect the two pieces. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this first pilot hole ran. Okay, then we'll run our second one. Alright. Let's see if these screws are going to be long enough. Definitely there. We'll get a pretty good grab there as well. So now we'll run our first one in. So that shifted a little. Let's see if we go into the bottom first. What'll happen here? Let's try it. Try and fix that. Okay. Run our bottom screw first. Oh yeah, that worked a lot better. So now we'll run our top screw. Fantastic. So that's nice and squared. Pop these off. Okay. Now we need to do the other end, which kind of is a dilemma because the board's not long enough. So I'm going to clean this off and get a longer piece of plywood, and then we can do our next board. I got a little longer piece of plywood. Now we're going to go work on this back corner. Set you up down here so you can watch that. Okay, so we've got our first clamp in place. Now we want to make sure we get these corners lined up real nice. Okay. And then we can get our second clamp in place. All right. So this one will screw in from here. And we got a nice corner there. So we'll go ahead and drill our pilot hole. Okay, there's our first pilot hole. There's our second pilot hole. Okay. So what we're going to do is put our lower screw in first, because the top one last time pulled this board forward, pulled it up. So this one we'll do down here. Okay. Perfect. So now I'm going to take the clamps off and we're going to flip this over and we'll do the other side. Okay, so we've got the frame flipped around and I had to put a clamp on this end because it wanted to fall off the table on that side. So now we're going to put our board here and we'll go ahead and get that screwed in as well. And I think we'll start at this end. So you can see this board is pretty much in line where it should be. If we go down here, these are really far apart. So everything is the right length and everything, but we're gonna have to squeeze these together to get them to fit right because they're a little warped and bent, like I said, so they're not gonna be perfect. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do our pilot hole. Okay, now we'll do our pilot hole. Okay. Let's put our screws in now. And again, we're going to do the bottom one first. Okay. Okay. So now we need to go down here to this end. We'll bring our clamps with us. and we'll go ahead and get this all situated here. So you can see we got to kind of squeeze that all together to make that work. So you can see we got our first clamp in place. Now we're going to get this one fitted in as best we can. Okay. That's probably about as good as it's going to get. So we're going to get that clamped. Actually, we need to tighten that up just a smidge. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to get that other clamp, and we're going to clamp it over here so this will sit flush because it's kind of raised right there. Okay, so now you can see we're nice and smooth across there. So we're going to start our pilot holes. Okay, and then we'll do our second one. Perfect. We'll grab 2 more screws. Real nice. Great. Okay, so now we've got our frame for our Coop completed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this real quick. We're going to put a diagonal support from here to that corner, just like this. And you want to put the down side of that diagonal brace to where your hinges are going to be. So our hinges are going to be on the left side of this door here, where the hinges will be, and our cross brace bottom will come here and go to that top. And so the thing of that is you want it here so this supports the top and the top can't pull it down. If we were to take the brace and go from that top to here, then the door would be able to sag. So we want to make sure that we put our cross bracing on correctly. And then I'll probably put a couple pieces in the corners as well, just for some extra provided stability. All right, so now we are going to get our hard cloth, which is this wire, tacked to our frame here. So I'm gonna try and get this kind of squared up on here as much as I can. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be close to where we need it. So we got that one in place. I'm going to go ahead and get this in place. Okay. So now we got that in place. I'm going to finish rolling this out. Just make sure we got enough length. And then I'll have to get my screws and washers and we'll get all this screwed down. Hopefully we got enough to finish. It's gonna be really super close. I might have to make some adjustments here, but yeah, we're short. Shoot.
What do we have, chicken wire still?
No, we're done. We ain't got nothing.
Why
probably what we're gonna have to do because we won't. Well, we don't have enough to get it done. We're gonna make some adjustments. Okay, so we've taken the wire and we've moved it to the top of the door, and then where the bottom is, we'll just put a couple pieces of wood across the bottom, and that'll be fine. We're not gonna really fret over it too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this screwed on then. Change my bit out. So we'll put these probably every, I don't know, a couple inches or so. We're going to start on this side, that way it kind of keeps everything a little even. Do we have another box of these washers?
I do.
Okay. Okay, so this side, this side we have run down the length. We've got our screws in. It's a little short here, but we're gonna put wood behind this. And I'm just gonna finish up this side. Right, so we now have the screws down both sides of our door. Now I'm gonna put in our cross support. All right, so this is what I was talking about earlier. Our board is gonna go across diagonally that way. Our hinges will be on this side. And that way, this board, when it's down here, won't let the top sag. So if we did this the other way, that corner would become heavy and it would sag and the door would go out of square. So that's one of the things you want to pay attention to when you're building a door, is to make sure that if you're doing a cross support like this, that the bottom is going to the hinge side. So we'll go ahead and get this board marked off. We'll make some cuts and we'll screw this down. And then I'll probably do a cross one into that, just purely for decorative reasons. It's not going to really provide any additional support, but it'll look nice, kind of like a barn door. So we're going to go ahead and get that done now. And again, I'm just going to mark off my corners here. So to do that, I'm just going to slide this off. I mean, this is a simple way of doing it. I'm just going to slide it off here. All right, and then I'm going to mark under the board here, and then that's how I know where to get my cut. Is it technical? No. Does it work? Yes. Is there maybe a better way of doing it? Perhaps. Okay, let me just get my marker. Oops. I'm gonna mark that out. Honestly, this is just the simplest way I've learned to do this. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just the way I do things. Obviously, it doesn't have to be the way you do things. But it works. Okay. That's it. Now we know where our cuts are going to be, and I'll show you that. And we'll flip this board over. You'll see where we're going to cut. And there we go. We got our lines marked. I'm going to go get my skill saw and we'll cut that up. All right, so we're going to make our cut here. Just going to clamp this down so it doesn't jiggle on us. Okay, and we'll come from, let's see, get that in the right position. All right, then we'll come through there. Okay. Now we'll go cut the other side. All right, and we'll just move the camera a little bit. All right, so now we'll unclamp this. We'll screw this down. All right, so as you can see, we've got our board clamped into place. We're gonna go ahead and screw that in. Okay, that should be plenty to hold that in place. Do that here. Okay, pop that clamp. And I'll drop a screw right in the middle. Okay. I'm going to drop one in the middle over there as well. Okay, so I cut a couple boards to fit here at the bottom since we're short on the hard cloth. And it is dark back there, and it's thundering. So I'm going to see how much I can get done here real quick before I have to throw everything in the shed and run away. All right, so here we are on day 3. Since we got rained out yesterday evening, and quite frankly, I think we're going to get rained out again this afternoon. So I've gone ahead and took the nails out of this board and got some markings on it to cut our diagonal for here. We stuck a little board right under there. I don't know if we can see that or not, but I put that board under there so we can screw into that. Then we'll put our hinges on, and then we'll mount the door. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of and move on to the next step. Got my square here so we can go ahead and connect our dots. And then we'll make our cut. Okay. So we got our markings made on our safety glasses. We'll go ahead and make these cuts real quick. So let's set you up so you can see our cuts. Okay. Here's our first one. Then our second one. This around. This will be our last cut. Okay. So I think we're done with the skill saw. Let me put that down here. And now we'll work on attaching this brace up here. Just like this. It's not quite perfect, but it'll work for what it is. Alright, so I'll go ahead and screw that in. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it gets the job done. Okay. Go in and get some screws. And I think we'll be good to go. Okay. Okay, so now the last thing we want to do is to, after we've got this all screwed in, is to go back here and we're going to fasten the hard cloth down to those boards.
This thing's huge.
Huh?
Feel
mosquitoes are out. They'll sit on here, just like this. And we'll do one at the top also. And I might have to come through here and cut a little section of this off of the edge so we can get this thing to mount up correctly. All right, so now we're gonna cut this edge off here so that we can mount our bracket hardware. Now we got that cut off, we'll mount our hardware. All right, so now we got our hardware here. We'll go ahead and get this mounted up. Yep, perfect.
It'll go right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now we'll move up here. Put our next bracket on. Next hinge. Okay. So we'll come up here. And I think we'll go right there. That's pretty good. One.
3. All right. Now I think we're ready to go hang this door. So I'm going to pick this up real quick, get all my stuff back inside because of the rain that's coming, and then we'll get this door mounted. All right, so before we hang the door, I do want to do a couple other things. These pieces are the ones that I cut off. And I'm going to put those in the corners here and here. And we're just going to screw those in. That's going to give us a little extra support in those corners, or reinforcement. So I'm going to go ahead and get those screwed in. And then we got to hurry up. Now, we're going to go get this thing mounted up. All right, so the door is just kind of standing up in the opening right now. And we're going to go ahead and get it mounted. So I'm going to have to lift it up just a little bit. And then we'll get it mounted in. And I'm using different screws. I'm using these, which are for construction grade. So they'll hold the weight of this door. Might be overkill, but better than the door falling off. So guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna trim out the corner down here so this thing will sit in there flush. Like I said, this was uneven pallet wood, so we do the best we can with what we got. And otherwise though, we're ready to put the other screws in and get this thing locked away. Clear now. Oh, I hate using those things. It shakes the blood out of my hands.
Just holding the door shook it out of mine. I wasn't even holding it. I'm not getting eaten up. Hi. You need no.
brackets, you know, both sides. And extend it so I can take my lawnmower hat, put it out here, and my wheel goes in the lawnmower. And then I can just walk over. All right, so that's our door on, brackets on. I just gotta finish up these hinges and we're done with this. All right, gang, well, there's our door installed. It opens and closes. I did have to trim off a little bit of that edge, but like I said, we're working with uneven wood. Now the girls have a ton of space to play in. So I think they'll be happy. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking us out again at Graybeard Garage. As always, my name is Matt, and thank you so much for coming out and checking us out. If you like what you see here, hit that like button, gives us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, as it does really help the channel out. And please feel free to leave any comments or questions. Obviously, I am not a carpenter. I only play one on YouTube, and nor am I an electrician or any of the other things that many other people are very good at. I just try and make things happen with the way they are. But it just shows that, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. Thanks, guys, for coming out and checking us out. Again, my name is Matt. This is Graybeard Garage. Thanks so much.